Do you ever feel like you're making great money, but somehow you just still feel broke? Like you bring in solid revenue, and at the end of every month, it just feels like there's nothing left. That's because most business owners, they don't have a cash flow problem, they have a cash flow management problem. And today I'm going to show you how to fix it without budgeting, without complex spreadsheets, and without stressing about money every single month. Let me guess. Your income fluctuates every month. Some months you're just crushing it. Big revenue, invoices are paid, cash is flowing. But other months, it's just crickets. Bills are stacking up, stress goes through the roof, and you feel like you're playing financial catch up every single time. And the worst part about it is that it's not about how much you make, because even when revenue is good, it still feels like you're scrambling to pay yourself. I've been there, and I can tell you right now, the problem isn't your income. The problem is you don't have a system that actually controls your cash flow for you. So here's the 3-step system that'll pull you out of that paycheck to paycheck trap, even if your income is all over the place. In step 1, it's about automating your expenses and savings first. The biggest mistake that most business owners make is about keeping all of the money in one account. It makes it too easy, far too easy to overspend, and then suddenly there's just nothing left. Instead, you need to use separate accounts for things like your operating expenses, your taxes, profit, owner pay, and anything else you might need. Now, here's how Sequence helps you in that situation. Instead of having to go to your bank and fill out all the paperwork to open up a few accounts, or heaven forbid, more than that, with just a few clicks, you can create as many accounts as you need sitting right here while we're sitting on the computer. Plus, every time that a deposit hits your bank account, Sequence is going to automatically route all of that by the right percentages to each account. No spreadsheets, no mental math, just a set it once and forget it type of setup. And let me show you exactly how to do that in just a few minutes. Right here, I've taken a few steps already. I've already synced a couple of our personal accounts, like the personal checking, the Roth IRA, and the brokerage account. I've added our business checking account, a few loans that we've got, including the truck, a few credit cards, and I've created a new business income account. Again, just a new checking account that I instantly created with a routing and account number, and this is where all of our business income is going to go. Because what I can do now is I can create all of those separate sub-accounts so that I'm not putting all of our business money into one account and having to budget and manually allocate. What we're going to do is we're going to click create a pod, and we're going to instantly create business accounts for all of our core categories. So I'm going to call this operating expenses, and just like that, it creates the account. I'm going to do that again. We're going to do owner's pay. We'll add in one for profit because that's so important. And arguably our most important piece, taxes, since that seems to catch up with so many business owners and not setting aside money for taxes appropriately. Now, let's take a look at this. I'm going to drag these out here so that we have them all spaced out and can see it. Now, when it comes to the rules, we've got our account set up, but now we need to actually tell the money what to do. And what we're going to do here is we're simply just going to click and drag. And all I need to do is I'm going to click it over to taxes, and I'm going to trigger this action every single time we get paid so that I don't have to think about how much money I need to set aside for taxes every week, every other week or month. Every single time money hits our business account, we're going to be setting the appropriate money aside for our taxes and all of our other assets. So we're going to trigger this. And what we're going to say is we want 25% to go to our tax account. I'm going to add another account. And now we're going to take a look in our drop down here. We're going to put our profit, put that around 10%. The next piece we're going to focus on is our operating expenses, and let's call that 50% for right now. And the remaining 15% we're going to send to owner pay, which is perfect because the next step, step 2, is about paying yourself like an employee. And that means you need to stop paying yourself inconsistently, because most business owners, they just take whatever's left over, and that's the wrong approach. Instead, you need to set up an automated salary, even if it's small at first. And in this case, it's a pretty small salary, because here's how Sequence can help you. With Sequence, every single time, as we saw, we're going to have money automatically paid out. A portion of it, in this case 15%, is going to automatically move into our owner's pay account. And you might say, well, I want to continue to use my bank. Not a problem. We've already synced our personal Capital One account here. So I have money being set aside every single time money hits our business account. 15% of it's going to go to our owner's pay account that we just created. That could be 15 cents if we only make $1. It could be $15,000 if we make enough. But here's what we're going to do. This money's going to accumulate inside of our owner pay account. And then I want to start paying myself on a bi-weekly basis. Again, think about it like an employee. You need to get some consistency in your pay. So instead of triggering this every single time we get paid, we're going to trigger this by a date. And so now we're going to select bi-weekly. Let's get paid on a Friday like everybody else. And now we can set this up to either send us a fixed amount or a portion of it, but I like to do a fixed amount. And so let's do this. Let's say we want to do $5,000 bi-weekly into our checking account. So now, no matter how much money you're making, we know that 15% is going to be going every single time into our owner's pay. That's going to be accumulating each time. And at this point, $5,000 every other week is going to be sent directly to our checking account. Now, again, you might not be making enough to justify $5,000 on a bi-weekly pay, so no problem. Start wherever it is. Maybe it's $50, maybe it's $500, maybe $5,000 is too little for you and you need to up it to $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. Not a problem. We can accommodate all of those situations, but the key here is you need to make sure that you are paying yourself on a consistent basis. And the same thing holds true with all of our other pieces. Our taxes are going to be set aside into this account right here so that when tax time comes, we don't need to be dipping into all of our other accounts like our operating expenses or our own personal paycheck. We've got our account right here. We have a virtual debit card that you can have and even a physical debit card, and you've got your routing and account number so that money can automatically be drawn from your tax account without impacting any of your personal spend or other business spend. We can even set up our operating expenses to send money to our business checking account if we don't want to change the way that we are doing our current banking. So every single time money hits, let's send a fixed amount of $5,000 to our business checking. And now I can create other rules. We're going to use the 100% of the remainder to go towards our debt and credit card payoff. So now we've set up all of these rules that allow us to instantly and automatically take care of our spending the way that we need to. Now, moving on to step 3, it's about building a cash buffer. You need to escape this feast or famine mode, because if your business has inconsistent revenue, like most people do, you need a buffer, and it needs to be at least 1 month of expenses saved up. Ideally, it's going to be more than that, but even with 1 month, that way when revenue dips, you're still covered. And here's how you can do that. Just like the other accounts that we've set up inside of Sequence, you can automate the transfers into an emergency fund so that you can build up this reserve without even thinking about it. And if you don't have a business emergency fund, well, consider this your call to do it. All we need to do is click right here and we're going to label it and create our rule. So let me show you this. We're going to create our pod. We're going to create a business emergency fund. Click create. And just like that, we have our business emergency fund set up. Now, what we can do here is we can click into our existing rule, and maybe we want to add another rule so that we're going to drag this up top because our rules run in order. So maybe what we want to do is actually have a fixed amount of $1,000 going into our business emergency fund. What this means is that every single time we get paid, we're going to have up to $1,000 going into our business emergency fund. And then everything else is going to flow. Every dollar on top of that is going to flow into the rest of our process. Now, again, you might not like that order, or you might say, well, I get chunks of money in smaller amounts. And so maybe you're only making $50, $100, $200 in each sale. And so $1,000 each time is going to take 100% of that. Well, no problem. We can add a limit. And let's say we want to limit this to $1,000 per month. That means the first $1,000 will go into your emergency fund and everything else will flow out accordingly. Again, we can set this up in these rules however we would like in whatever order so that we can make sure that we're maximizing this setup. Because some people might actually want to take out the taxes first, then run the $1,000 rule, and then have of the remainder money going to the profit, to the operating expenses, to the owner's pay. You can set this up however you'd like to make sure that we're accomplishing your goals to hit your financial targets. And again, there's endless ways that you can set up these rules. I just want to make sure to show you how easy it is to set up the automation so that you can not only make sure you're paying yourself on a consistent basis, you're not putting all of your money into one single account in overspending, but you're also setting money aside for your taxes, for your emergency fund, for your operating expenses, and helping you pay off your debt and accomplish your financial goals. Because look, this isn't about making more money. Although I think most of us are big fans of that idea, it's about keeping more of the money that you are already making. And if you follow the system, you automate your savings, you pay yourself first, and you build that buffer, you're never going to stress about cash flow again. And the best part is you don't have to do this manually. Sequence does it for you. It moves your money exactly where you need it to go, and it does so automatically. No more, oops, I forgot to pay the taxes. No more overdrafting because a bill hit at the wrong time. Just set it and let it run. So if you want to learn more, click below to get started using Sequence today, and you can get out of your survival mode and start running your business with confidence.